All right, what's up, everybody? This is Dog Awful Betting. We are back to start off the NFL season. I'm Vegas Nide. I'm here at the South Point Casino Sportsbook, hosting our podcast. We did some podcasts last year to get this started. We just do this for recreation fun. We talk about sports. We talk about betting. Just a bunch of buddies having some fun talking about football. Um, I'm in Vegas. These guys are in Missouri. So we just thought we'd throw something together to have a good time with. Just give us a like, a follow, a share if you like what you see. We're trying to grow a following. There's a couple more of us who will pop in and out either tonight or throughout the season, but we're going to try to do this every week. Give you guys some content as far as just covering the NFL, covering weekly games and the upcoming games. And we'll talk about some bets that we like as well along the way and have some fun and hopefully win some money. Who knows? But like I said, I'm Vegas Night. We got Parlay Puff in here, Sefi Sanchez. You guys want to add anything?
Good to be back.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
be
I'm ready. Football.
yeah.
Football.
But yeah, tonight it's our first night back from the off season. We're just going to talk about some of the stuff that happened over the summer. You know, kind of what's going on, what's going to happen in the upcoming season, as far as some new additions, some subtractions from some teams, and next week we'll go a little more in depth with a few things. So I guess let's get it started. Puff, you want to talk about anything in particular that happened over the summer, or what's going to happen this season?
I think for me, one of the big things was Dalvin Cook going to the Jets. I think he's going to make that offense even more dynamic than what I think they were going to be without him. I think Rodgers is going to be rejuvenated. I think he's going to be out to prove he's still got it. I think adding him with the weapons they already have, I think it's going to be. I think they're going to be really good. I think that was a major addition in a division where, the other teams didn't really do much to, in my opinion, to go, to get better, where the Jets got a lot better just by Rodgers and Cook alone. So I think that was a big time get for them.
Yeah, I think. I'll go ahead, Sefi.
I think that that just happened in the last yesterday or today that they signed him, and I mean I had him being already real good without Cook even. So I mean I think that just upgrades everything and solves a big question mark for. I don't know if anyone knows how Breece Hall exactly is doing or where he's at, but I mean we know he's a stud, but just adding Cook's going to make them just that much tougher. So I think they're going to be real tough to beat this year.
Yeah, when you get, I mean, just the Jets as a whole, when you get somebody like Rodgers and then you add Cook to that mix, they're going to be so good. I think. I think a lot of it though depends on where Rodgers' head is as well. We know he can be a little mentally whatever.
Well, I think
he's out there.
Gosh, he took a pay cut. Like he chopped a lot of that salary basically, to prove that he wants to be there and that he wants to be there for more than 1 year. So I think him getting out of Green Bay may have completely revived a career that was, it was good. Obviously, he was MVP, but he just, he got stagnant. And I think the Jets are all in.
Yeah.
And like I said, really, when you look at it in that division, they're the only ones that, like, you could look and say, wow, okay, they got better. The Bills didn't do anything. The Dolphins, that's pretty much what they were. I think the Jets, right now you can get the Jets at plus 250 to win their division.
That's probably something we'll talk about in another week or two.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I agree.
it's but that's what I'm saying though, is like you got to try to find that value, and I think that's where that value is. Is like if you're gonna throw $100 on something, like I think that's a good bet.
But that was
I don't mind it. I still find it scary in that division with the Bills and the Dolphins, but they got as good a chance as anybody. I wouldn't bet against them.
I mean, I like the Dolphins, but do we trust Tua? Stay
No.
healthy.
Don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Tua can stay healthy, sure, I think they can be competitive and steal a couple games here and there. But I don't know what to think of Tua.
Well, they upgraded their backup, so
They upgraded their backup. Who's their backup? I forgot.
Mike White.
Yeah, he's real good.
They tear it up for him.
Yeah, Mike White. Anyway, how about I don't have
Moving
anything.
on.
I don't have anything for Mike White. Well, okay,
Keep the ship rolling.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. And what do you want to talk about, Steffi? Anything caught your eye?
All right. I'll get into my first one. Mine's kind of based on what I wanted to talk about on my favorite two futures so far. But I really wish Jimmy was on here for this one. His favorite team being the Raiders. I think this is kind of maybe subtraction by addition, I would call it. I don't think that Jimmy G is the answer there. I think that Derek Carr is kind of a Vegas QB who can make things happen. They scored points. I think they were 15th in points last year. He makes a lot of mistakes, but I mean Jimmy G can't stay healthy. Can't throw. He had a good coach and it's with the 49ers who kind of kept him in order, and he gets hurt. And so their backups are Brian Hoyer and Aiden O'Connell. So Josh Jacobs hold out. What's going on? So you're coming in here with Zamir White maybe running the ball. Waller's gone. What a mess. Your coach and McDaniels is god awful. What a mess. And you're in one of the toughest divisions. You got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers coming on, and you got Sean Payton probably improving the great defense of the Broncos a little bit, maybe. And so they're over under at 7 wins, and I say absolutely no way. I like them to be the worst record in the NFL this year.
Ooh,
and so
that's a stretch.
That's mine. They ain't gonna win 3 or 4 games.
I think they can win 3 or 4 games. I think they'll probably win. If Jimmy can stay healthy, I think they can win 5 or 6.
He can't stay healthy.
Well, I mean that remains.
And they don't have Mike White as a backup.
Well, a lot of it's depending on what Jacobs does too. If he actually holds out for the year or whatever that situation is going to be. I mean, he seems pretty adamant. I mean, it's like a similar Le'Veon Bell situation here.
Well,
I mean, I just feel like even if, say, Jacobs suits up and he's in great shape, and I mean, you had Carr back there who could sling the ball. He's going to make a lot of mistakes, but he'd sling it. Now you got Jimmy G, who's a game manager. What has he done? He's not going to score points
played
for
the
you.
Super Bowl.
The only thing that I think
with a great team.
The only thing I think that's going for Jimmy G is that he's with McDaniels again. Like they know each other. Like he came to the Raiders for a reason. So there could be some camaraderie there, I guess. Like I said, if he stays healthy, I think there could be something. I'm not saying they're going to win the division by any means, but I think they could be better than what you're thinking. But like I said, there's just too many question marks in general, though. Jacobs, Jimmy G's health, McDaniels coaching. So, I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from, but I could also see them putting together a few wins.
How do you think Devontae feels right now?
Send me somewhere. Send me to the Jets.
Right? Yeah, I mean, he went there to be with Derek Carr, and now he's gone. But I think that's just more of a, obviously more of a McDaniels pushing Carr out. But just wanting his own guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Carr could, he could put him in games. You know what I mean? You always knew, like if Kansas City was going out there, I had faith that, you know, Kansas City's probably going to win the game, but Carr can keep him in that game.
Yeah, he's gonna put up a
No,
fight.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go out there and he's playing Jimmy G. I mean, I just don't see it. You know, maybe we'll see it. We'll see something else. You know, maybe he needed to get out of San Francisco to where he can be let loose. Maybe so, but that's my favorite. That's my favorite under bet of the year.
Yeah. So I would, like I said, I mean, what was it, 7.5?
It might be a 7.5 now. I saw it at 7.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess that's not a terrible bet. What was it, minus or plus?
I
You
can't remember. No,
I don't.
I can't. I've
Okay.
got it in my notes, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Anyway, so what I like, one of the offseason moves that I liked was Kellen Moore going to the Chargers. I just think he's a good offensive mind. I honestly think Herbert could probably have a chance at the MVP this year. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Puff don't like that. Here we
Good
go.
Lord.
I like it. I like it.
I just think I think Herbert's a lot better than Dak. I think Dak's pretty good, but I think Herbert's 10 times better with what Herbert's capable of doing. So I think more going to that offense. Herbert's got a chance at the MVP. So that's kind of my thing that I like. What don't you like about that, Puffin?
What does I mean? Herbert's has had one winning season,
Okay, he's got a new offensive
and he also
coordinator.
blew a 24-0 lead last year in the playoffs.
Okay, what's that got to do with putting together a 5,000 yard, 35 TD season?
Because I don't think Kellen Moore is gonna. I don't think he's gonna make that. I think Herbert is Herbert, whether Kellen Moore is there. And I mean, what do you think Kellen Moore brings to the table that they didn't have? I guess is my question. They still have the same weapons. They have this Herbert. They have Eckler. I mean, what exactly does Kellen Moore bring to the table? I guess, in your opinion.
Oh, just a different philosophy. Sometimes that's all you need is a different philosophy, different coach hyping you up, talking over the game plan. I mean, like we know Patrick is good, but if he didn't team up with Andy Reid, would he be this good?
I think so.
Of course you would.
Well,
But
Andy Reid. But I'm saying Andy Reid had great teams, great quarterbacks, and Reid didn't win Super Bowls before he had Mahomes.
Well, he's been there. Like he's a good quarterback coach. Like
right, but what I'm saying is that Herbert has had arguably the most talent in the NFL since he's been there. Would you agree or not? I mean, as a surrounding cast.
He's had a lot of talent. I don't know about the most, but he's had a lot.
Yeah, I'll put Allen up there with anybody. I'll put Eckler there with anybody. But
Williams
is he's a good number 2. But after that, everything falls off.
All we hear every year is how good the Chargers defense is going to be.
No.
At what point do people just say they're the Chargers?
Well, I think he's got a few more years. Like you say, he's been in the league 3 years. He has had a winning record 2 of those 3.
No, 1.
Yes. No, I'm looking at it right now. 10
and
7 and 9 and 8.
First year.
What? 2020 is his first year.
He has more losses than wins,
and he was 7 and 9. No, he doesn't.
The last stat I saw, he did.
No. 7 and 9, 9 and 8, and 10 and 7.
Okay.
And this year probably 11 and 6, and they'll win the division. Sorry, Buffy.
I'm not saying they're going to win the division. I think he'll be top 3 or 4 for MVP candidate. I think he'll put up those types of numbers. with Moore there. They brought Moore in for a reason. More like look at the stats that Dallas was putting up before Moore left, and that's with Dak. I like Dak. I think he's good. I think Herbert's better, so I think he's capable of doing more with Herbert than what he could with Dak.
Fair enough.
So that's what I'm saying. I'd have to look up Herbert's. I don't know how many yards he threw for over the past 3 years, but I think he'll be
I'm sure it's up. I'd say it's probably
close to
up
5.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he can pad the numbers. He just doesn't win games.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, if that's what we're gonna say, I mean,
no, I mean, I guess you got to win to get the MVP as well, I guess. But
Yeah.
they're not just going to give it to Patrick every year.
well, no.
I mean, who else is going to be in the top 3 or 4, 5?
I think Rodgers will for sure.
Could be.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think you're gonna have Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers. I think those are going to be your 4 front runners for MVP.
I don't think Burrow will.
You don't think Burrow will?
Their offensive line is trash. He's going to get sacked and hurt, and I don't think they'll be there.
I think he will because the media wants him to be, though.
I mean, if he can stay healthy, sure. I mean, I think his numbers would probably be, up there, obviously. But I think that offensive line is trash, and I think it's going to. They haven't done anything with their offensive line.
Well, they got Orlando Brown.
I don't know.
One guy. All right, let's move on.
I mean, it could easily be Tua. If
Yeah.
if God dang, I mean, it could easily be Hurts. It could, if Fields, their over unders like 7. They won 3 games. If they win 8 this year, I mean, I guess he could be an MVP. I guess I don't know. There could be a lot of people who could turn it around. It comes down to, like you said, Mahomes will be the best. They probably don't want to give it to him every year. He might start getting the treatment where they just want to give it to somebody else. But I mean, I think Herbert's he's set up as well as anybody. Like you said, he's always had tons of talent. And the Chargers, when you think Chargers, you think, well, good team, but yeah, like they don't play defense. They lose games 38 to 35.
That kind of goes into the second part of kind of what I'm thinking is like Staley's going to be on the hot seat. Like I think not winning games I don't think that's on Herbert necessarily. It's got to come down to Staley and the way he manages the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like I said, now with Moore and his offensive philosophy there, maybe some of that changes. I don't know. Maybe they get a few more wins. I don't.
I agree.
Maybe they get off to a rough start, fire Staley, and whoever the interim would be. I don't know. I don't know. Like
I think that's why Kellen Moore is there.
Take over eventually.
Yes,
I think so.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Is he going to be not all offensive coordinator, not all assistant coaches are made to be head coaches. I guess you don't know that until you hire somebody, but I don't see him being a head coach, a good head coach. Personally, I don't know.
Maybe not, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Andy Reid worked out, and he's a joke.
Big old fat joke.
Yeah.
All right, let's segue into the next conversation. Kind of anything else you want to anything else you saw that you want to talk about, Puff?
No,
I'm excited for this one.
What one?
Are we talking about Chiefs' #1 receiver?
We can.
Yeah.
Well, right now he's hurt, but
oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that.
So who is their projected #1 receiver?
Tony
Tony who?
Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius. That's right. They traded
Yeah.
for him last year, right?
Yeah.
Kadarius Maloney.
Yeah, Baloney is right.
I mean, he's a freak when he's healthy, but it's gonna be whether or not he can stay healthy. I think that by the end of the year, I think Guy Moore is probably going to be the guy.
Guy Moore is the guy. Puff says.
Yep. I think he's going to be Mahomes' Edelman. I think that's what he's going to turn into.
No.
Good luck, Chiefs.
Didn't you say that last year about this time of year?
Guy Moore. You said something ridiculous last year about Sky Moore too, and it didn't work out. So
this is year 2.
Okay.
What's his name?
I think he's do what?
What's his name? Guy what?
Sky Moore.
Sky Moore.
Oh, Sky Moore. I thought you said Guy Moore. Oh, okay, gotcha.
It doesn't matter. You call it Bert.
I thought he said Guy Moore.
No. I think
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that year 2, I think he's gonna figure it out.
So I remember that. Yeah, you did predict Sky Moore last year. So I guess
Yeah.
if you predict it every year, one of these years you might
Eventually
be right.
Gotta work out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sky
Eventually.
less.
But the other guy that I think that is going to have a massive impact is Justin Ross. He was one of the top wide receiver prospects before he got hurt, and then he got hurt with a spinal issue, and now that he's fully healthy, he's showing some things in camp right now, and I think that his speed and his size is going to be a huge contribution to the wide receiving core. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the wide receiver room for the Chiefs, and I think they're gonna surprise people. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was throwing to 2 left shoes last year and won the MVP. I think this year they're gonna have, and anytime you have Kelsey on the field, you're gonna be just fine. So
Yeah, I'm sleeping on them because they're so fucking boring.
Yeah.
and all they do is win.
No, I mean the bottom line for the Chiefs is they've got Mahomes. He's got to throw it to somebody. So a couple of those guys are gonna show up. I mean they're core. They're worse than last year, and last year sucked.
I
Juju
disagree.
sucked. But
Yeah,
these
exactly.
guys. Well, Juju's better than these turds you're throwing out right now.
Turds.
And so
Debatable. That's
bottom
debatable.
line. But here's the thing: is they got the best quarterback throwing them the ball. So all you gotta do is catch a few because the ball's gonna be there.
Yep.
And so while I'm laughing at the receivers you're naming are a joke. They're not good.
Well, they're rookies.
But yeah, a few of them are gonna catch the ball. And so you haven't. No, I'm not gonna say that right now. So yeah.
So for everybody listening who may not listen to us or know, Parlay Puffin and Sideways Jarvie, they're our resident Chiefs homers. Chiefs do no wrong in their eyes.
No.
Mahomes does no wrong in their eyes. Just
Sure he
for
does.
everybody out there listening, just to have a little context.
No.
He does
Chiefs
wrong.
have never lost a game.
We've only lost 13 since he's been there.
All right, Seffi, anything else you want to bring up?
Yes, sir. So I went to I already gave my favorite under of the year, so I'm going to move into my favorite over. I think that we're going to see a Titans resurgence.
Titans?
And so the better odds to win the Super Bowl, teams that have better odds than the Titans, the Falcons, the Bears, the Washington Commanders, the Packers with Jordan Love, and the Patriots. The odds for the Titans to make the playoffs plus 250.
I mean, the only thing they got going for them is a weak division?
No, they're with the Jags. They're not winning that division.
Yeah, Jags. I don't know.
I
I used to like the Titans, Henry, Tannehill, but I don't know. Last
So
year just
Tannehill's
kinda-
serviceable. He's not great. They tried to replace him last year. Didn't really go well at the end of the season. But hey, How many weapons has Tannehill had?
Nobody.
He's got DeAndre. He's got Treylon
yeah.
Burks coming. He's got Okonkwo coming on as tight end. So I think that he's got somebody to throw it up to, somebody decent. Henry's 29. He's not human. We keep waiting for him to break down. He's tearing it up. And so, but look at the division. Their strength of schedule is the 28th in the league. 28th. They got the Texans. They got the Colts. I think the Jags are going to be tough, but Lawrence throws games away too. And so over 7.5 games in that division with the 28th strength of schedule.
I like Vrabel. So, I mean,
With
he's a good coach. I like Vrabel. He's a good coach.
And we saw what Malik Willis can do if Tannehill goes out. It wasn't great. He in camp so far, Malik Willis has been kind of competing with Will Levis, and Will Levis hasn't looked sharp so far. So they say Willis has looked better, but if Tannehill goes out, they probably, or Henry, it's going to be rough. It all comes down to health. But Vrabel is since 2018, he's 19-13 outright as a 3-point dog or more. That's the most wins and the best winning percentage since then. And he's 20-18 outright as an underdog. So
he's a good coach. I love Vrabel.
I think that I think they were right there last year. A couple wins go their way, just like the Vikings had 13-4. They easily could have been 7-10. I think they turn it around, just mainly because of the division. They're going to have wins given to them. So
and I'll say this: it's a contract year for Tannehill anyway. Him and Henry are free agents after this year, so I mean, you would think they're going to go out there and tear it up a little bit for that next contract.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vrabel's he's a beast. He's not giving in. He's never gonna just say, okay, I'm fine with losing. He gets his team there, and I got faith in them, and I like that number. So
I can see it. I can see it.
I'm looking at their schedule. They realistically could be 1-5 through week 6. They go at the Saints, Chargers, at the Browns, Bengals, Colts. There's a win, and then the Ravens.
I've got them 3-3 in that stretch.
Yeah,
well, they're not beating the Chargers.
They can beat the Saints.
They'll beat Derek Carr week 1. I love that line. I already want to bet it. I might bet it tomorrow. I might be sending Nide that one. I got him beating Cincy. I don't know if Burrow will be in.
Yeah, he'll be.
Cincy going to the Titans. I mean, they're going to pressure him. I think they'll be just fine. You can run on Cincy. So
and then I got the O-line. Telling you that defense is going to eat him up.
Maybe you might be right. I just don't trust Tannehill.
Yeah, I know. He's a bottom batch quarterback, but I mean, I could throw it to DeAndre and Treylon Burks.
True.
Well, how good is Hopkins going to be this year? That's the question, right?
I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be.
He's still D-Hop.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was saying how he's, lost his step and all this. Not really. If you look at his numbers, he only played 7 games last year, and he had 700 yards. And I mean, he produced. And who did he have throwing him the ball?
Colt McCoy.
Yeah, I mean I think he's. I mean, I wish the Chiefs would have paid for him. I wanted him back. That would hurt. I think he's going to be really good this year. Plus, he's out to prove something.
Yeah.
If Tannehill is serviceable, Seffi, I could get on board with that. If Tannehill would be serviceable,
I think he will be, but that's my bet. I've already got money down on that one and the Raiders under. So.
Yeah, so good stuff there. Um, what do we think of the Lions this year? Are they going to do anything? They were they were surprising last year.
They can. That division's, I'm still not sold on Minnesota. Kind of like Seth said, that they could have been 7-10 last year. I mean, just I
Well,
don't know how many.
they lose Thielen and Cook this year, so
Yeah,
I think that division's up for grabs. I think the Lions are a decent pick to win that division.
Definitely. I mean, I can see it. I think they're gonna. What was their record last year? I don't know if it's called regression necessarily because I think they're going to be a
did
high
they end up
scoring team again.
I think they ended up 9-8, didn't they? Because they beat
9
Green
and
Bay.
8. So yeah, I've got them at
Yeah.
8 and 9. I think they're going to be a lot of the same. You know what I mean? I think they're going to score a lot of points, and I think they're capable of really beating anybody. They can show up and they can beat anybody. And so, and those teams are scary, because they can turn around and lose to the worst team in the league the next week. And so
They were
I
9
think
and 8. Yeah.
9 and 8, 8 and 9 teams is how I feel they are.
Well, like I
But
said,
that could be good enough to win the division.
Yeah.
well, I don't think the Packers will do a whole lot with Jordan Love. I think we're still waiting to see what Justin Fields is going to do with Chicago. And like I said, Vikings lost Thielen and Dalvin Cook. Like obviously Cousins is the best quarterback in that division, but I feel like
probably not
the
by
line,
much.
right, and I feel like the Lions put enough together last year to say, hey, they're going to be there this year. They're going to be right there in the thick of things. So, yeah,
I like them. I like their coach. I think they play
Yeah.
hard for him. So I could definitely see it. I've been watching. You guys watch that show Quarterback? Did you watch that on Netflix? I know Puffy did because he's got the shirt on. But that made me like Cousins a lot.
Yeah.
But their coach is kind of a turd, so I don't know. I don't believe in them. He too much. He kind of just rubbed me wrong. But Cousins is pretty tough. I think they'll have a lot of luck regression, but I still think that they're just like the Lions. They can beat anybody, they can lose to anybody, and that division's just. I think it's completely up in the air. That's might be the only division I would say I wouldn't be surprised if any of the 4 teams won.
Well, I think you could put the NFC South could be any team: Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons.
I agree.
That could be with anybody. I mean,
if
I had to pick one, I would probably lean Saints.
Yeah,
but it's not by much.
I would be surprised if Bryce Young won that in his first year, but other than that,
Desmond Ritter with Atlanta, I mean, that doesn't scare me. Baker in Tampa Bay, that doesn't scare me.
No.
If Baker even wins the job, I mean, you would think he would, but
yeah, and then
Did we lose?
Oh, what? We lost somebody? Oh,
Well,
Seth froze.
got out.
I need to take a screenshot of that.
There
we go.
What's that?
You froze up a little bit.
Oh.
All right, that was a good podcast. We got like 5 minutes left. Anything else you guys want to throw in?
We'll throw one more thing in. Keep an eye on if the Chris Jones situation. That's making me nervous as the days go by.
The what?
Chris Jones.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Without him, no chance.
I love it.
Same with Bosa. Did you see Bosa hasn't. He's still holding out.
I saw that.
I don't get why these teams aren't
Nick
just
or
getting
Joey.
it done.
Nick or Joey.
Nick.
Yeah, okay.
From San Fran, he still hasn't reported. Those are 2 big ones I think to keep an eye on.
They'll get it straightened out.
Yeah.
They're too important to what they do.
Right. No, I agree. But you'd think they'd have it done already.
I mean, it's not like a running back. Like obviously, like with the Raiders, you'd miss Jacobs, but you can plug somebody else in there and be okay. Not, you know,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like defensive guys are just different,
Yeah.
or offensive line guys, you know, whatever. It's just different with those guys. If you're good,
Yeah.
you're good. They'll get paid and they'll be out there soon enough. It's probably just a formality so they don't have to go through OTAs.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're
Through
just,
all this.
yeah,
See you week 1. I'll be on the bus.
right. All right, boys. I guess this will be it for tonight. We'll come back. Well, like I said, we're gonna try to do this every Tuesday. Do our podcast, and then we'll get them up on Wednesday and Thursday. And we'll just talk about sports, talk about bets, have a good time. If you're watching us, give us a like, follow, thumbs up, share, show us some love, show us some support. Guys, peace out, guys.
Let's
See you
go
guys.
football.
Football.
Football.